Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, I thought I'd do something a little different. I thought I'd do a chit chat, get ready with me while I talk about my June TBR. And if you guys are unfamiliar what TBR stands for, it stands for to be read. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about all the books that I have to read for the month of June, what they are, why I picked them, and if this is actually like doable. Plus, I also show you guys how you guys can get this really beautiful, easy makeup look. So you guys wanna see all of that, well then definitely keep watching. Okay guys, so this is my first time doing a chit chat get ready with me / June TBR. So I normally don't ever really do get readies with me, but I just did one yesterday because I did the shop my stash. But you guys really seem to love when I just do videos like this where I just sit down, play with makeup while talking about books. The first time I ever introduced books on my channel, you guys loved the mix of books and makeup. These are both some of my biggest passions. If we could just add video games, I would have the trifecta of all my favorite passions. But you guys seem to really enjoy when I share my books with you guys while doing makeup. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's gonna be a chit chat get ready with me talking about my June TBR. Now, I never really share books that often with you guys except with my closest friends that I share what I'm reading, and now I'm finally doing it. And I kind of am setting myself up just a bit for this month. Typically, I would have no issue reading this many books for the month of June or just any month, but I have been so busy into video gaming lately that I just haven't dedicated the time to read. So normally for the summer season, I only read romance novels. This is the only time I read romance novels. Before I dive into that though, I'm gonna quickly start getting my makeup going because then I could just talk forever. I'm just gonna do my favorite go-to everyday makeup look. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So I'm gonna set my eyes with my P. Louise base. But during the summer season, I absolutely love to read I love to read romance novels or beach reads. So you could just sit by the pool or at the beach and read a quick summer fun beachy vibe style book. That is what I love. And that is why I enjoy reading romance novels during the summer season, because they're so quick to read. You don't really have to put much thought into it, and you can read it within a day or two and move on to the very next book. And that's why I think they're so fun to read during the summer. And a lot of times I'll try to pick summery vibe books to read too, but I haven't found a good summery vibe book in so long. But this is something that I've always done for years. I have always read romance novels or beachy style books during the summer. It's just maybe because I live here in Florida and the weather is normally typically really freaking gorgeous during this time. That's probably why I get so into it. But I do have 2 non-romance books to read because they were on my list as of last month as well. So I'm gonna make sure I get through them this month. I am gonna go in with the Lunar Beauty. This is the Nude Prism palette. You guys can use code Allie to save you guys 10% off your purchase. You guys know how much I love Lunar Beauty and I freaking love this palette. I'm just gonna use 2 shades in here. I'm going to use a shade Milk Tea followed by the shade Laura. These 2 combos are just so freaking gorgeous. It's my go-to everyday eye look. It's what I wear when I want to feel really beautiful but not put a lot of effort into it. So I'm just gonna take my E35 brush. This is my brush from Bling Brushes. Again, you guys can use code Allie, save 10% off. I'm gonna place this shade Milk Tea all over the lid and I'm gonna top it with Laura. And that's it. That's literally all I'm gonna do. It doesn't require much effort and it's so beautiful. So the very first book that I'm starting right now is the Then She Was Gone book by Lisa Jewell. It says that Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laura Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laura's breath away. Because the eerily precocious Poppy is a spitting image of Ellie. And now, the unanswered questions she tried so hard to put to rest began haunting Laura anew. Where did Ellie go? Did she run away from home, as the police long suspected? Or did something more sinister happen? A haunting page-turner of sheer perfection. Booklush starred review, Then She Was Gone is a gripping and emotional resonant tale of one mother's quest to uncover the clues she failed to recognize and finally discover the truth of what happened to her daughter. Now, I had gotten that from Paige. Paige gifted that to me when we did our mystery book swap, and I literally had put that on my TBR then. And I've done a good job of reading the books that Paige has gotten me so far. My goal is to finish them very soon so I could do a follow-up video to tell you guys whether or not Paige did a good job. on picking out some books. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read that one first, and that is one of the 2 mystery thrillers that I have for the month of June. The rest does go into like romance summer vibes. There's something about it that I only like to read them during the summer. I don't know why. I think it's just because I just really enjoy having like a nice, like maybe refreshing cocktail or mocktail of your choice. Sit by the water, get some tan, enjoy reading quick, fast-paced summer reads. All right, now I'm going to take the shade Laura right here, and I'm just going to literally place this all over the lid, and this is my go-to eye look. It is just so freaking beautiful. It requires very minimal effort or skill to achieve this look, and you can get it done in less than 5 minutes. Now, I'm obviously going to do this look more than 5 minutes because I'm sitting here talking to you guys, but typically this look would not take any effort whatsoever just because it's just so easy and effortless to do, and anyone can do it, and it's just such a beautiful palette to utilize for this look. All right, so moving on to book number 2, we do have the book The Woman in Cabin 10, which is so funny because my best friend Alyssa is currently reading this, and we actually bought that together. At least I think we bought it together. I know I bought it with her. I think she might have bought it too, but this is the last psychological read for me. I'm gonna go with my Milk Hydro Grip, and so The Woman in Cabin 10, it's pretty much about a girl who's on a cruise ship and she sees someone go overboard, and then when she tells somebody that, they do like a guest count and everybody's accounted for. So now she's trying to imagine, did I see it in my head or did something really happen and they're just trying to cover it up? I'm gonna go with my NYX Marshmallow Primer. So it's kind of like the woman and the woman across the house, like the woman across the house from the girl in the window. It's like very something similar to that. Or like a girl on the train where the girl saw someone get murdered and they're trying to like tell her whether or not she saw it. So that's what the synopsis of this is. Unfortunately, on the back of this book, it doesn't actually say it. I remember I had to look it up. But I'm really excited to give this a go. Like I said, Alyssa's reading it right now, and I'm excited to see what my thoughts are on this. This is my last psychological thriller to read for the next month or 2. But I know me, I still can't stay away from those stuff just because they're so fascinating and they're so fast paced, and that's why I'm like so excited about this. I really hope that it's fast paced and it moves along really quickly because I really do love stories like that, because there are other like super psychological thrillers that were just like so, predictable and just kind of like, oh my god, let's go, move it along, like The Perfect Marriage, which I'll get into later. But there's just some stuff I'm just kind of like, okay. Now for foundation, I'm going to mix the Nars. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. This is my absolute favorite foundation, but because it is the summer season and I'm super oily as it is, the summer really does help to accentuate the oil. So I'm also going to mix in a little bit of the Nars Soft Matte Foundation. Now this definitely pulls really yellow on me, but this does help to counterbalance it. And it's what I've been using for like the last couple weeks is this combination right here, and I've been really enjoying it. So I just take a pump of each and we're going to go ahead and place that all over the face while I talk about my third book. So my third book is the start of the summer read for me, and it's called The Unhoneymooners. I'm sure so many of you guys have heard this book before. This is by Christina Lauren, and on the back it says Olivia Torres is used to being the unlucky twin. From an inexplicable mishaps to a recent layoff, her life seems to be almost comically jinxed. By contrast, her sister Amy is an eternal champion. She's managed to finance her entire wedding by winning a slew of contests. Unfortunately for Olive, the only thing worse than the constant bad luck is having to spend the wedding day with the best man and her nemesis, Ethan Thomas. Olivia braces herself for wedding hell, determined to put on a brave face, but when the entire wedding party gets food poisoning, the only people who aren't affected are Olivia and Ethan. Suddenly there's a free honeymoon up for grab, and Olivia will be damned if Ethan gets to enjoy paradise solo. Agreeing to a temporary truce, the pair head to Maui. After all, 10 days of bliss are worth having to assume the role. of lovely newlyweds, right? But the weird thing is, Olive doesn't mind playing pretend. In fact, the more she pretends to be the luckiest woman alive, the more she feels like it. With Christina Lauren's uniquely hilarious and touching voice, The Unhoneymooners is a romantic comedy for anyone who's ever felt unlucky in love. So that's going to be my first introduction to romance this summer for my summer read. I'm really excited to read about this. This has been all over Book Talk. Everybody's talked about this for so long. My only thing is I really don't like taking Book Talk recommendations because the few books that I read from Book Talk recommendations are freaking They sucked. They flat out sucked, and I was so disappointed. Like, why did I read that? So I'm really hoping that this is good. I have not heard anyone say anything bad about it. I kind of like look into Amazon reviews whenever I am buying a book, just because I'm kind of like curious to see what they have to say. And there are some that made me freaking laugh. Not for this series, but for, like, perfect example is the Song of Achilles. I hated that book. I hated that book. I hated that book. And everybody said it was so freaking amazing. And then I read it and I was like, what is this bullshit? Like, it was just so boring. So freaking boring. And I just couldn't get into the story. So hopefully Book Talk won't let me down again, because it has been notorious for letting me... You know, it's so funny. TikTok has been notorious for letting me down when it comes to trends. Makeup and books. What's next? Video games? Oh my God. I don't think they'll tarnish video games though. There's no way. Okay, so now that that's laid down, we're going to go in with the Dominic Cosmetics Concealer. I freaking am obsessed with this concealer. And you guys know that I love it when I keep using it, especially because I have been obsessed with the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Concealer for so long. And I'm just really, really, really enjoying this concealer for some reason. I just think it's so nice. It's so hydrating. Has a nice coolingness to it. You guys can use code Allie to save you guys 10% off this concealer or anything from Dominic Cosmetics website. But that's honestly not why I use it, because I did purchase this myself. It was not gifted to me in PR. I just generally really am enjoying the consistency of this concealer. And I think that's saying something, because I've never really been one to be fully into concealer for the longest time until I tried out the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Concealer. That's when I was like, holy shit, this can kind of make a difference. All right, so the next book that I want to read for the summer is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This was actually gifted to me from Paige. So it says Piper Bellinger is fashionable and influential, and her reputation as a wild child means that paparazzi are constantly on her heels. When too much champagne and out-of-control rooftop party lands Piper in the slammer, her stepfather decides enough is enough. So he cuts her off and sends her and her sister to learn some responsibility running their late father's dive bar in West Point, Washington. I'm going to go in with my Jaclyn Cosmetics Under Eye Brightening Palette. It says Piper hasn't been in Westport in 5 minutes when she meets big bearded sea captain Brandon Taggart, who thinks she won't last a week outside Beverly Hills. So what if Piper can't do math and the idea of sleeping in a shabby apartment with bunk beds gives her hives? How bad could it really be? She's determined to show her stepfather and the hot, grumpy local man that she's more than just a pretty face. Except it's a small town, and everywhere she turns, she bumps into Brandon. The fun-loving socialite and the gruff fisherman are polar opposites, but there's an undeniable attraction simmering between them. Piper doesn't want any distractions, especially feelings for a man who sails off in the sunset for weeks at a time. Yet, as she reconnects with her past and begins to feel at home in Westport, Piper begins to wonder if the cold, glamorous life she knew is what she truly wants. LA is calling her name, Brandon, and the town full of memories may have already caught her heart. So I'm really excited to see if this will be any good. We shall see. I know that, Paige raved about it for a while, so I'm definitely excited to kind of put that to the test to see like how well it is. So next, for setting powder, I'm going to mix my Nakia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder. Again, you guys can use my code to save you guys 15% off. And the Dominic. I'm going to kind of mix these two together to see the combination. Typically, I mix my Nakia Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder with my Kimchi Puff Puff Pass matte setting powder, but we shall see if I like this combination. So far we have 4 books down. I feel like I still have a lot to go. The next one, which I'm, again, surprising myself, but again, it's summer. We have the Christine Lauren, This Is Love and Other Words right here. So it says that Mary Sorsen is setting an ambitious, if emotionally tepid routine. Work as hard as psychiatrist residents plan her wedding to an older, financially secure man, keep her head down and her heart tucked away. But when she runs into Elliot, the first and only love of her life, careful, bubbly, she constructed begins to dissolve. Once upon a time, Elliot was Macy's entire world, growing up with her gangly, bookish friend into the man who coaxed her heart open again, only to break it on the very night he declared his love for her. Told in alternating timelines between now and then, teenage Elliot and Macy grow from friends to much more, spending weekends and lazy summers together in a house outside of San Francisco, devouring books, sharing favorite words, and talking through their growing pains and triumphs. As adults, they become strangers to one another until their chance reunion. Although the memories are absorbed in the agony of what happened that night so many years ago, Elliot will truly come to understand the truth behind Macy's long decade silence and will have to overcome the past in himself to revive her faith in the possibility of an all-consuming love. I'm not even paying attention to my makeup. I'm so busy reading the back of the books for you guys, which I hope you guys are okay with me doing. It's just the easiest way for me to give you guys a synopsis of it without just saying, this is what I'm reading, and just hope that you guys would just be like, oh, that's so cool. So I'm excited to give these ones a try. This is the second book that I have from Christine Lauren. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about the Love in Other Words series. So many people have recommended it to me. I've seen it all over Book Talk. There's two different versions of like the soft cover book. Like it's really, really popular. So I'm really excited to see like how much I'll like it. But yeah, hopefully I really enjoyed. I think for this month, I'm focusing more on like romance, but then next month, I'm gonna focus more on like spicy books. Because who doesn't like a little bit of erotica in their life? Especially because I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, when I'm ovulating, I get so fucking horny. I'm gonna flat out say that. I'm sorry if there's kids watching. I do. I want to go to the movies so bad. Well, I think that's what I'm gonna be reading next month is like more spicier like romance books. I think that's what I'm gonna start reading in the month of July, you know, because why not? Okay, so for bronzer, I'm gonna go in with my favorite bronzing palette. This is the Lunar Beauty Outer Dimension palette. If you guys have been following me on my channel, you guys will have known that I've been using this since December. I cannot get enough of this bronzing palette. I just think that it's so good and it just blends so effortlessly. And it just creates the most pretty bronzed, soft, like airbrushed look. I also want to let you guys know that I do have a Goodreads. I just recently started it, so I'm not really active on there, but you guys are more than welcome to follow me. I'll link it down below. I also created an Amazon wish list. Now, don't feel obligated to send me anything, but the reason why I have the Amazon wish list is mostly for like myself too, so I can see everything that like I've wanted to read. I have it like listed down so I can kind of like keep a track. Okay, this is what I want to get. If I'm at the bookstore, I see a good deal on it, or I just, you know, have the funds available, I'll be able to purchase it. I just really like curating a list, but I'll link it down below just in case you guys want to go check it out for yourself, and there's anything on that list that you guys want to get for yourself or like have recommendations. I feel like that's the best way to do it, is to kind of like keep track like that as well. Okay, so for blush, I cannot get enough of the Odin's Eye Warm Sun Blush. There's just something about this that is just so damn beautiful. I cannot get enough of it. I have been wearing it nonstop. It just gives you that beautiful like summery glow, and it just is so gorgeous. I just think it's like the prettiest blush, and I've never been one to be into orange blush. I never even thought orange blush would look nice on me, and because I'm always very much a peachy whore. I'm a peachy whore. And I have been getting into this orange blush since I tried it from the new Odin's Eye Cosmetics Solomon 2 collection. I just think it's just such a gorgeous blush. And it may not necessarily match this eye look, but I don't care because it's just that damn good. So freaking good. Okay, so for the next book, and I only have two more after this, we have the Ellie Kennedy. This is the Off-Campus series. This is the first book called The Deal. I have seen everybody talk about how this is the perfect summer read. There are 5 books in this series. I didn't realize how thick they were, but there's 5 books in this series, and everybody says that this is such a fantastic series. It's such a quick, fast-paced series, so you could probably read these so fast, which is something I enjoy. I love a very fast-paced book that I can quickly just move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So it says on the back, it says she's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. Hannah Wells has finally found someone who turns her on. But while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice. Even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. And oh, it is going to be oh so good. All Garrett Graham has ever wanted is to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he's worked so hard for. If helping a sarcastic brunette makes another guy jealous, will lift his grades and secure his position on the team, he's all for it. But when an unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex in both of their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretend isn't going to cut it. Now he just has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. Ooh, I'm all about the steamy sex. So there better be some steamy sex in there, otherwise I'm gonna be very upset. So that's really exciting. I've heard people talk nonstop about this book and say how freaking amazing it is. So I'm definitely like really excited to try it out. I'm gonna go back in this palette really fast. I'm gonna go back into the shade Milk Tea just to do the waterline really fast. So you guys see how quick and easy like this look is. It really takes little to no effort, and you guys don't have to have the same products I do. You guys can definitely dupe all the stuff out of your collection. If I were to recommend probably anything to get, maybe it might be the eyeshadow palette, just because I don't know how easy these shades are to replicate. I mean, you guys can probably find shades that are very similar, but this is just like the easiest to get the exact same look, is just to get the palette, you know. Okay, I'm gonna quickly throw on some mascara and some white liner, and I will be right on back. All right guys, so for highlight, I'm just gonna go into the Jaclyn palette. I'm gonna use the iced highlighter. I have the individual shade. It's just sitting under makeup, and I just don't feel like pulling it out and being lazy. So we're just gonna go ahead and just use this today as a highlight. So for the second to last book, I have this book called The Summer of Broken Rules. This is by K.L. Walter, I think. And this was gifted to me by Paige. Again, this was another one of those books she picked out for me in our like mystery book swap. And this book, it says, when Meredith Fox lost her sister Claire 18 months ago, she shut everyone out. But this summer, she's determined to join the world again. Her annual family vacation to the Martha's Vineyard seems like the perfect place to reconnect. Her entire extended family is gathering for a big summer wedding. And although Meredith is dateless after being unexpectedly dumped, she's excited to participate in the traditional Fox family games of Assassin that will take place during the week of the wedding festivities. Clara has always loved the game, and Meredith is determined to honor her legacy. But when Meredith forms an alliance with a cute groomsman, she finds herself getting distracted. Meredith tries to focus on the game and win for her sister, but she can't help falling for him. As the weeks progresses, she realizes she's not only at risk of losing the game, but also her heart. How cheesy is that? So freaking cheesy, but I'm here for it, and it's literally a summer book, so that is why we are going to read it during the summer, and hopefully it's a really good read. I have not heard anything about this at all. This was just gifted to me by Paige. So hopefully it's good. We shall see. If it is, time will tell. Let me quickly set my face. All right, to finish off the look, we're gonna go in with lips. I'm gonna do something just very easy. This is like a really easy like lip routine that I do. Typically, I'm very anal about my lip routine, and I like to have 3 or 4 different lip products on, but since I really do love this particular lip oil, I'm not putting anything other than just a lip liner and lip oil. So the last book, and I'm gonna do my lips, we have the book called Talk Bookish to Me. This is by Kate Bromley, I think is what her name is called. I just recently picked this up on a recent book haul, and I'm just kind of curious to see how it is. It's about books, and I love books, so like why not read a book about books? But it says, Carrie Sullivan's life is full of love, aka fictional. As a best-selling romance novelist and influential bookstagrammer, she's fine with getting her happily ever after fix between the covers of a book. But right now, not only is Kara's best friend getting married next week, which means big wedding stress, but the deadline for her next novel is looming, and she hasn't written a single word. The last thing she needs is for her infuriating first love, Ryan Thompson, to suddenly appear in the wedding party. But when Ryan's unexpected arrival sparks a creative awakening in Kara that inspires a seeming historical romance she desperately needs to deliver. With the wedding duties intensifying, her deadline getting closer to the second, and her bills not paying themselves, Kara knows the only way to finish her book and to give her characters the ever after they deserve. But can she brace the unlikely, ruggedly handsome muse who pushes every one of her buttons to save the wedding, her career, and just maybe write her own happy ending? So, yeah, I don't know anything about it. I've not seen any reviews on it, so I'm kind of curious to see if I'm going to like it. But those are all the books I have for June TBR. Hopefully I can get through them all. We shall see. Like I said, I've been really addicted into playing video games recently. Well, I've always played video games, but like really hardcore, playing like 4 or 5 nights out of the week. I play with Corey, Paige, and Jarvis. We play Fortnite all the time. We recently started getting into Fall Guys and playing Among Us, and I'm gonna start streaming on my channel, so you guys will see different content there as well. But I'm gonna quickly line my lips. I'm going in with the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Bourbon Lip Liner. It is the best lip liner ever. It's my favorite freaking color. Typically, I just line the lips, but I'm actually gonna fill my lips in today with this because I'm gonna go in with the lip oil on top. Okay, now that that's filled in, I'm gonna kind of take my finger and kind of like just tap over it just to make sure that everything It's good. Kind of move things around my finger just a bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my favorite lip oil of all time. You guys should not even be surprised by this, but it's the Lunar Beauty. This is in the style Dare Me. It smells fucking incredible. It tastes incredible, and it's so long lasting. It's so high shine. It does not stick on the lips whatsoever. I think this actually is a better formula than the lip gloss. Personally, I have been obsessed with his lip oils. They're brand new. You guys can definitely use my code. They just actually got restocked. These went out of stock. So if you guys want to get your hands on them, now is the time to do so. I believe they're $18 a piece, but with my discount code, you guys can save 10%. And truly, just look at the magic. Look at the magic. Fantastic. Now granted, this one has a little bit of like a pinky shift, but in reality, you guys can get any of the lip oils. There's only 3, and you're gonna get the same effect. Like, you only need to have like really 1 out of all 3, because like they're all like the same thing. But I just love the way it makes my lips feel. It is just so freaking comforting, so hydrating, and it just feels incredible. So I'm gonna set my face one more time because I'm that anal. And this is it. So this is my everyday go-to look. I feel so beautiful when I wear this look. The only thing I've switched up in this routine is just adding a orange blush. Typically I do more peachy blush, but I've been really into the orange vibe lately. I think it's just perfect for the summer season, and I just feel so incredibly beautiful when I wear this look. It literally, if I wasn't sitting here talking, would take me 15 minutes to do this look and be out the door. And that is what I'm looking for when I'm looking for an everyday beautiful makeup look. This is it right here, and I feel like this can really complement so many people. You can obviously add lashes to this if you wish to do so. You can spice it up however which way, but I just find this to be the easiest freaking look. So I'll make sure I list everything I'm wearing on my face down below, as well as all the books I mentioned. Like I said, this is my first time ever doing a TBR here on my channel. Typically I just do this privately just for like me and my closest friends. So it's kind of nice to like share this side of myself with you guys, and you guys, like I said, seem to really enjoy whenever I do mix books and makeup together. So that is what I did today. But I'll make sure that I list, like I said, all the books that I mentioned, the makeup that I'm wearing, my Amazon wish list, and my Goodreads down below for you guys to check out and go follow. And yeah, guys, this is my June TBR. Kind of a heavy hitter. We'll see if I can do it. I don't necessarily have high hopes for myself, only because I gotta make sure I set some time aside for this. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's video, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4, sometimes 5 videos a week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for the Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, a huge thank you goes to all these beautiful, wonderful page members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribe, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye.